Welcome to Turton Sports Centre for another big night of business here in Bolton. It's Budo FC 66 and we're starting today with an absolute cracker in amateur bantamweight MMA as Qudratullah Mohammadi goes up against the debuting Tom Brennan. Mohammadi, a teammate here of the Wayfarer Academy team, alongside Levi Steedman, who's very, very familiar with Mohammadi's style, so go ahead and break him down for us.
Yeah, so I know Q personally. Q is a soft little cute nickname there, but he's a very, very, very resilient fighter, and what you're going to see is some really, really solid grappling. There we go.
Wow.
It's a bit of a lateral drop there. He's going to be crazy. He'll be scrambling on legs. You're just going to see a bit of a scrap, basically. This guy absolutely loves to fight. Doesn't care if you hit him with solid shots. He's going to be an exciting one for sure.
An absolute well-matched cracker here by Chris Clark, as always. Two very big gyms in the Wayfarer Academy and Aspire Combat Sports Academy here. Big takedowns again.
It's very like Khabib-esque style what Q's got going on here. So once he's got something, he's not letting it go. He's a bit of a pit bull. He'll just stay whatever he's got. He'll drag it to the flow of it, whether that's an arm, a leg, whatever he's got. He's going to stay stuck to him. He's going to make it pretty tough for him here.
Glued to the hips here of Brennan is Mohammadi, giving him zero space against the cage, making it gritty, making it a gritty fight. Halfway through the first round now.
This is a pretty interesting matchup, though, considering, you know, Brennan's background in professional boxing.
Yeah.
And Q's just, you know, he's got quite an extensive career in amateur MMA as well in his home country. And styles make fights, don't they, Harry? So this should be an exciting one.
Big knees to the inside of Brennan there, in her thighs, really trying to work to get him down to the ground here. We know exactly where Mohammadi does want the fight. Brennan obviously wanting it on the feet. But Mohammadi not backing down from the scrap on the feet either. Big head kick.
Will take advantage of that slip there. There we see it again. Another shot by Q there.
Yeah, Brennan just looked like he was caught in the headlights there as he came back to his feet. Didn't respond quick enough and suffered another takedown.
Well, this is the thing when you're transitioning over to MMA, especially from like a predominantly stand-up, stand-up sport in boxing. Once somebody grabs hold of your hips, it's a totally different ball game under the pressure there. So, you know, this will be a pretty tough night, I think, for Brennan. But you never know. We're still very early, near the end of the first round here. So we'll see how the second round plays out very soon if we get there.
Yeah, and a very tough fight for an amateur debutant to take. Sure. But this kind of matchup we do like to see. Test the waters early. Trying to get that wizard there to turn him over, but he releases him. And now we'll go to Brennan's bread and butter here in the centre of the cage.
It's very, very different to a boxing match as well, because
another big shoot, yeah. Big action there in that first round. Bit of a grappler versus a boxer here, the old clash of styles. But what do you make of that first round, Levi? What would your advice to be to either corner now?
I think my advice for the corner, especially for Q anyway, is just keep on the legs. I think putting somebody on the back foot straight away, especially from a boxing background, you can just grab hold of the legs. It's very like alien to, even though you could have done a million rounds in the gym leading up from, you know, boxing into MMA. But I do believe once you've got the adrenaline running through you and you've not experienced it in like a live situation, that's the game plan. I'd be diving for his legs straight away. I think if I was Brennan, I would be throwing some uppercuts in there, throwing some teeps down the middle, angling a bit more, as we know a wrestler wants a straight shot. So I think movement is key and fast hands is key in this round for Brennan.
Big wisdom from Levi Steedman here. And here we go for the second of three potential rounds, 3 3-minute rounds. Mohammadi in the blue gloves and Brennan in the red. Starting to let a few leg kicks go now on the feet. Starting to mix his strikes up a little bit and not telegraph his strikes so much.
I think we've got Dean Garnett there in the corner. I think he's given some solid advice to keep things going straight down the middle, linear lines, especially against the wrestler. Some solid corner advice there.
Nice jumping body kick there from Mohammadi, but Brennan shakes it off like it's nothing.
The thing is with Q, or Mohammadi, as we know him as he's Q, he will take some shots and he absolutely loves it. It's like almost it switches him on a little bit, which is obviously the bad thing to do. Shouldn't be taking shots by any stretch of the imagination, but you know, this guy literally, it switches him on when he gets hit and he smiles through it. So this is going to be exciting as the rounds go on.
More big shots from the long, lanky arms of Brennan.
There's that shot again.
Shoot. And very, very nice counter work there to fight off the wrestling of him.
I'd like to see Q, you know, possibly get it to the floor now and try and get some ground and pound going, because, you know, depending on how the judges are scoring the fight, we want to see a little bit of damage as well. Those little knees to the insides of the knees and the thighs obviously make a massive difference for when Brennan eventually turns off and starts to move around again. So I think dragging him to the floor now would be the best case scenario for Q and start getting some damage off.
Fair play to Brennan. He's working vigorously to counter and prevent any kind of extra work and progression to the floor here. With a decorated team like Combat, the Aspire team in Liverpool, his grappling clearly on show here. So if he is going to want to get anything off, he is going to have to get off that cage, Levi.
Yeah, I think I would start, because Brennan's so long as well, he needs to spread his weight out a little bit more. He needs to start using, oh look, we've got a submission attempt here, flying triangle. I think he'll be a little bit wide. Yeah, there we go. I think he needs to start getting his frames inside, start breaking away, try and find different angles. A nice strike by Q there.
And right on the chin. But Brennan firing straight back. But those long limbs just falling victim to takedown attempts every single time. But he's fighting it off so well. Is Tom Brennan.
I think this is the thing with somebody who's such long-limbed as well. When you're trying to take somebody down, it's like trying to take a massive spider down. They just seem to have another leg pop out from somewhere and it's on the ground. But I think, again, Q's style of making it scrappy and dragging him backwards and forwards, it's going to be very difficult for Brennan to keep his balance there. And that's exactly what we just saw.
And that brings us to the end of the second round. Some words exchanged between the two there at the end of the second. But a big round coming up. How much do you think Brennan's got to do to walk away with this fight? Do you think he needs a stoppage?
I mean, I personally think he needs a stoppage. I would probably, if it was me, I would try for a stoppage. Again, I don't know how it's been scored in terms of his damage scoring over actual control time. I'm not too sure how that works anymore. But yeah, I would definitely go for the stoppage. I think Brennan needs to keep it standing, those long limbs. I always say I've got like T-Rex arms. I wish I had longer arms and I can keep people at the end of the jab, end of the kicks. And I think he could possibly get a stoppage. You know, Q's used a lot of energy in the last 2 rounds, you know, dragging somebody to the floor. It's very energy sapping. It's also energy sapping if you're getting dragged to the floor. So we should see who wants it more in this third round, I think.
Yeah, Brennan definitely has this crisper strike of the two, the sharper strikes, but that isn't letting Mohammadi shy away from a slugfest in his own right. As we know, Mohammadi's story, walking from Afghanistan, living off berries and fruits to get to England, and even though he's in Liverpool now, refused to train with any other team. Happy at the Wayfarer Academy, and it's showing. But big shots traded here at the start of this third round. Into the deep waters we go.
I think Brennan has to find the middle ground between being, you know, nice and crisp, but also having a bit of urgency behind these shots as well. But then again, you know yourself, once you start throwing these big shots, that's when they're quite easily timed, especially if somebody's so desperate to get the takedown. You kind of, it holds you back a little bit, but I personally think we do need a finish here, and it should be exciting latter half of this round here. Big shots are being thrown.
Overhands from Mohammadi. And a takedown from Brennan himself here, turning the tide of the fight. Very nice takedown against the cage. Mohammadi listened to his own corner there, right close to the Wayfarer team.
The thing is with Q here, he will grab hold of something, and whatever he does have, he will try his hardest to squeeze it off. So
Brennan into full mount.
Terrible position there.
To full mount. Now he has the back.
A little bit too high here, I believe, for Brennan. I think Q's going to grab hold of his head here and wriggle, almost like backwards bear crawl out of this position, but he needs to keep his limbs safe in this position here. And this is where we might see some ground and pound from this position.
Brennan working to get back to his feet here, but it's all Mohammadi at this point. Big back taking shots to follow. He's hunting for the rear naked choke submission here.
He's now got both hooks in, looking for a bit of damage on top, secure the third round maybe.
Very nice reversal there to get out of that dangerous position from Brennan. Finds himself in half guard, but still a very underrated and dangerous position in its own right.
I don't really like half guard in MMA. I think you kind of anchor yourself into a position where you can get hit. I'd like to see Brennan using those long limbs, trying to get his knee back inside, shrimp away, which he is doing here as I speak. Q would be happy to stay here. I would be heavy hips and land some strikes from there. And, you know, he can actually stay in this position quite safely.
Big top control now from Mohammadi, trying to slow his man down and take away, punish the body. But Brennan just unrelenting, consistently working on his hip here to get back to his feet. Final 10 seconds go from the clacker. And the big strong finish here from Mohammadi. His second amateur bout, and a very good account as well for Brennan in his opening, in his debut amateur fight. Fair play to Brennan as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause, please, for both fighters. We will march on this short house where we have the unanimous decision. In picking your winner, in the blue corner, Mohammadi.
Big congratulations to Qudratullah Mohammadi there, picking up his second amateur win by unanimous decision, but also no slight to Tom Brennan there, took on a very game opponent in his opening fight.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that was a very, very solid opponent for Tom Brennan. You know, fighting a full-on MMA guy when you've just transitioned over from boxing, like, fair play to Tom. That was a tough fight for your first one out there, but I'm sure with the skill set that he has, his next fight is going to be 10 times better than that one.